Welcome to GBALL Vision, everyone. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we have an exciting one planned for you. We are talking about some of my favorite knives from 2023 that have been released this year, or it might be a version 2. As long as it was released in 2023, it can make this list. It's not new models exclusively, but in this case, we do have a brand new model coming in, the Tuya and Skeleton Blades Caladan. This thing is phenomenal, guys. S90V, hand rubbed satin, nice drop point blade with a very low tip. Gonna be a great user. Titanium bolsters, bolster lock, marbled carbon fiber inlays. You have a titanium pocket clip and back spacer. It looks great, it works great, and it's comfortable in hand. And this knife is under $300, and for what you get here with the designer behind it, the OEM that finishes it, the materials, this is an exceptional knife, guys. It's one of my favorites this year, and I think it's one of the best knives of the year. It is flipper only, but it has incredibly good action, guys. This thing is definitely in the tops for best knives of the year. Let's get to the next one. Next up, we got the OSER F22, and now this one in particular is an Urban EDC Supply exclusive, OEM by Riot, DLC coded M390 blade. It is a drop point with a nice low tip. I love this blade shape, nice and useful. It's nice and thin. This thing is a great cutting machine. You have black micarta, which is what makes this an exclusive. You have the all black DLC titanium hardware kit on this thing. All the hardware, the liners, the pocket clip, the back spacer, all DLC titanium. And then the best feature of this knife is that kickstop mechanism, making this thing almost like an auto. Like that's the button to release the auto. It is so fun, so good, so stout. It's just incredible. And then the drop shut action of this thing is just, it's so buttery smooth, nice and hydraulic. I love this thing. It's such a great pocket knife, and it's definitely going to make it to the end of the year as one of the best knives of the year. Let's get to the next one. Next up, we got the Null Voodoo. Now, this is a later version. This model of this knife was released prior to 2023, but this version right here was released in 2023, so it can make this list, and there's no question about this making the list. This is one of my favorite knives of all time at this point. It is just so good. You have an acid washed M390 Warncliffe blade. You have this awesome pokey tip here at the very end, and it is a hell of a piercer. It helps you get in your cut, you know, if you need something done with precision or whatever. That is going to be just awesome. You can get a long, nice slice because of that. It's not completely straight. It does have a little belly to it, but it's going to be ultra useful, guys. Love the harpoon look there with some jimping. This is a titanium bolster lock. It's got like a stone wash, bead blast look to it. And then you have blue micarta for the inlays. Other flavors of this as well as the Caladan and the F22. You have a titanium back spacer and an awesome titanium pocket clip. You do have these triangular thumb disc as well as a fuller. You can use either one for the reverse flick, and you can use either one for the thumb flick. The thumb flick, though, I typically stick with the studs, and then reverse flick typically off the fuller, but I do reverse off the stud sometimes, and I do thumb flick it off the fuller sometimes. So it just kind of depends. And then if you have the guts. You can front flip this guy too. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and I don't think it's not supposed to be a front flipper. It's just you can front flip it, but that doesn't take anything away from this knife. It is exceptional. One of the most aesthetically pleasing knives ever. Very, very comfortable, very useful blade shape, great materials. Love what Null Knives is doing, and I can't wait for what they have in store for us. Let's get to the next one. So we're going in the EMP EDC direction. We have a brand new model from EMP EDC, the Ronin. This is a Best Tech OEM, and I absolutely love this thing because it stepped out of the normal box that EMP EDC that we saw them in a sense. I've always been happy with the original Nimble and the different blade shapes that have come out with that. The liner lock, I was right on board with that, so no problem from me on that. But it's awesome to see a completely new design, a new take, you know, seeing John step outside of his comfort zone, so to speak. And I think he nailed that with this. This is very unique, but it's exceptionally well done. You have an LMAX Tanto blade. You have compound grinds, a flat here, a hollow here. And let me tell you guys, this is ultra slicey here. And this comes in handy so often for various tasks, whether it's poking and breaking something down, getting through it with this and slicing to the straight edge so you can, you know, finish your cut, doing scraping tasks. I just love this secondary edge here, and it's easy to press through boxes and whatnot because of this point and the edge and this point, and then you get to your flat here. Nice, comfortable titanium handles. You have this awesome milling done on them. Brass accented hardware. This one's sporting a blue Zirku tie pocket clip. In the light, in the sun, it looks exceptional. The video don't quite do it enough justice, but still looks great. The ergos on this thing are fantastic. You can choke up there. Nice, useful Tanto blade. Comfortable. I love the look of it. You don't see something like this quite, you know, every day. This is a unique design in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. Let's go with a budget / affordable option on this one. This has to make the list for best and favorites of 2023. The affordable or budget Run Centurion. And guys, this thing is ridiculous. The value that you get out of this knife is just absolutely insane. It's insane how far we have come with pocket knives and what you can get for 40, 50, 60 bucks these days. If you really dig in, you can get some incredibly good knives for 50, 60 bucks. Stuff that will last you forever. And in this case of this one, I think this is a candidate for, you know, best knife of 2023 under 100 bucks. No question about it, under 50 bucks. You're getting a PVD coated 14C 28N clip point, modified drop point style blade here. You have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper tab. The detent is tuned perfectly for this guy. It thwacks out of there. Nice drop shut action. It came nice and sharp, nice and strong. It came centered, comfortable as all hell. Nice thick G10 handles, great finish. Steel liners, nice thick steel liners. G10 backspacer, and you're getting a milled titanium clip, an anodized aluminum pivot collar, 14C, greatly finished G10, all for under 50 bucks, guys. This is an absolute insane deal, and I will shout that from the rooftops. Great access to the liner with a chamfer, clean show side on the blade. They knocked it out of the park, and I can't stress that enough. Love the Run Centurion. Let's get to the next one. So we got a mid-tier price knife here. This is the Am8 Gladiator 2. And guys, this is one of the best values on the market in that price range. These come in under $160, and sometimes you can get them down in like the 150, 140 area, depending on if you go to White Mountain and they're in stock. You can use GBALL 10, get 10% off, and it'll knock the price of this down, you know, $15 or so. Sometimes Amazon has a sale on these, but for around that price, you might be saying 150. That's, you know, a lot, but for what you're getting, it is not. You're getting a high polish, sandblasted drop point S90V for the steel. Ultra useful blade shape. I love this, and I love how they did that cant to the tip there. It's like a nice straight cant to the tip, but it has the drop point feature to it. So instead of having the like elongated slope to the tip, kind of similar to the OSER here, it has that straight down to the tip. So I like that aesthetic. I think it's unique looking. I think it, you know, doesn't change if the effectiveness, it's still very effective. And as a matter of fact, getting up there and on top of that tip is nice with that flat. You have dual thumb studs and a front flipper tab for the deployment options. This is a titanium frame lock with a heavy stone wash, titanium stonewash pocket clip, and back spacer. You do have some milling done. Nice chamfer and great access to the lock bar. The action is outstanding. It's got a nice hydraulic close. It doesn't have that cheap, you know, real quick, loosey-goosey type action. It'll slowly drop to your finger and then kind of slowly go home. Front flipper works great. Thumb studs are placed well, and they work great. Those are also titanium, I believe, and all for around $150, $160. It's an insane value. Same family as the Megaron. They are sister companies. They are putting out some of the best value on the production knife market, period. Love the Am8 Gladiator 2 for what you're getting. The size of this thing, it's a pretty big knife. You can get a great grip on this thing, and I just love this knife. The Gladiator 2 from Am8 Knives. Let's get to the next one. Next up, yes, this is one of my favorite knives of the year, the Kaiser Cobalt 2. And this unique bugger is just ultra comfortable, ultra slicey, ultra useful, ultra fidgety, and it's priced very well. I love this thing. It's coming in CPM 4V. You have a nice black wash finish on this guy. Sheep's foot style blade. The ergos are fantastic. Whoever designed this kept ergonomics in mind because it is super comfortable. You have a G10 bag spacer. These are coated aluminum handles. They have held up well. So is the blade. The black wash is phenomenal. Deep carry steel rollover clip will not be left hand friendly. There is no chamfer on the liner, but you have phenomenal access there. That's the only place Kaiser missed with this guy, is a little chamfer, but not a big deal for what you're getting and how much access they left anyway. But a chamfer there would have just topped this off, moved it to an A++. You do have an elongated hole there and a front flipper tab. They work phenomenal. This thing has amazing acoustics, and these can usually be had for right around $100. And for the size of this knife, the 4V with a black wash, nice aluminum handles, great build, for under $100 or around $100. Absolutely amazing deal. And for the index cut, which is my favorite, you guys know that, this thing is perfect for that. Leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you think of this list. Let me know if there is some other knives that I should add to this list. Of course there is. I'll be doing another couple of these for my favorites of 2023. This is just kicking it off. And go ahead and give me a little thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. It really helps the video and the algorithm. So do the comments. If you're new or you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. I'd love to have you here. We have giveaways coming up. We have all kinds of different stuff coming up the pipe. We'd love to have you here and welcome you to the GBaller family. I'm going to throw up 2 new videos. Definitely recommend going and checking this one out. You're not going to want to miss it. Catch you on the next one.